Well, doing maintenance on the old 8520 here, doing the fuel filters. This one's got two filters on it. Got a bigger one there in the front and a smaller one. Then that's your engine oil filter, which is this one. It's like a cartridge style filter. So changing all of them, doing the engine oil, and then I think I'm gonna, I gotta look up when I did the hydraulic filters. So those I think I just did them not too long ago, so those should be all right. So we're just gonna do engine oil and the fuel, and then we'll blow out the air filter, blow out the radiator while it's here. My dad's got, give or take, he got about 100, not quite, about 110 acres to do still, so we're quite a bit overdue on the oil change, but we've been busy and just didn't take the time to do it, which don't like doing that, but we just haven't had the time to do it, so we're doing it now, so that's the main thing. But got the oil draining in it, got the catch pan there, so getting that drained, and then we'll pop the oil filter out, and then once that's done draining, we'll scoot it over and catch the fuel filter, the fuel out of that. That way it don't make a mess on the floor, and then we'll change them, and when we pull it outside, I'll blow out the radiator, but pull the air filter once I get done and blow that off outside as well. And then so I didn't film anything yesterday, but this morning we had 4 hay deliveries to make. My dad and mom did 2 of them, and me, my brother and uncle did the other 2. We did 200 bales, 100 bales each trip, and used the old flatbed here. If you guys remember, did the radiator in it 2 or 3 days ago, and that was fine. But now I don't know, I can't really see, but well, that shiny puddle there is diesel fuel, so I gotta check that out. It's really cold today. It's only, I think it got down to 6 degrees last night, and it's only 15-16 degrees. So we usually have problems when it gets that cold with these old trucks, which they sit outside, and they don't like the cold too much. So I'm hoping it's just a O-ring. It's in the back of the engine somewhere, because it's dripping down in between the engine and bell housing. There's little banjo bolts in the back for the fuel. I'm hoping that's all it is, or something simple, hopefully, but it's leaking a lot more than we'd like it to, so I got that to look at too. But it's already about 1:30, so I'm just gonna drain this stuff, and then I'll probably go for lunch here. I'll do the filters and everything. I won't fill it till after lunch here, and then afterwards I'll come out, take a look at this thing, see what parts I need to get coming. That way we don't have this truck down too long, and go from there. But you gotta do some running this afternoon as well, so I don't know how far I'll get on all this, but draining it now, so we'll get going on it. But yeah, so we'll get this thing going here and get the oil out of her. So I got the 2 fuel filters here. You got to pre-fill them with the diesel fuel, that way it doesn't starve, because these do not have a fuel pump per se on them, so you can't turn the key on and fill it up like that, because it shows right on these to fill them up. So we're gonna do that and stick these on here. I got these already drained and I got them loose, so all I gotta do is pull them off and put the new ones on. So we got the new ones here. I got the new diesel fuel, and then I got a little bit of oil in this cap for the O-rings around here, and then I got the new fuel, or diesel fuel, the oil filter, there we go, and the new O-ring that goes in the cap there, and I got to pull that old cap off with the O-ring and change those two. So we'll get this stuff pre-filled, get the oil on the O-rings, and then pull the old filters off and put the new ones on. I got both of these pre-filled, so we'll put the oil on them and pull them off and slap them in here. This one's a little tricky because it's don't have much room here. Doesn't want to start either. Go. So just get them snug on there anyways. It's hard to get these completely square. Once you get them started, they go on pretty easily. So I had this draining for a while, so shouldn't be too bad. We'll pop that off and get the new one on it. And there you have it. So we'll let that finish draining and go for lunch, and then we'll come back and fill her up with oil. So got the oil changed and fuel filters. Still got to blow out the filter and radiator, but we'll get that later once we go pull it outside. Started it up though, didn't have any oil leaks, so that's a good thing. But this thing's done other than blowing it off, so we'll hopefully be able to start ripping again. It'll take probably 2 days to get it unthawed being that cold, but it's supposed to warm up here in the next few days anyways, so shouldn't have any issues. We like to get all the ripping done here before it gets really cold and stay cold, but tractor's ready to go, so that's a good thing. But the truck, I'm not sure what's wrong with it, because it had the oil or fuel leak right here, and I backed it up and there's really not much dripping off. I had it running for, I don't know, probably 2-3 minutes long enough for it to start leaking, and never did. So I guess we'll run it and see what it does. But so that's that on it. But hopefully it doesn't come back, but if it does, we'll see if we can catch it then. So but it's milking time now, so I'm gonna go milk, but I'll get you guys back out tomorrow. We're in the shop. I got this thing in here. I got a couple odds and ends to do on it. Plus we got some cattle panels that we bought on an auction. I gotta go get them. But there's a couple just small things I gotta do to it, and nothing major and still usable and everything. I just gotta do a couple things to it. But then we still got this thing in here. My dad did some ripping with it when I was gone. We still got, I think he's got probably 80-ish acres to do with it, but we got some work to do on it. Well, quite a bit of work actually, but that'll be later project. I'll get into that. But we've been getting a lot of rain here, and everything's just so muddy and can't do any field work, so we're probably start working on this thing here shortly, because we're gonna need it in the springtime, and a couple projects are pretty big, so we gotta get on it soon. But other than that, not a whole lot's been going on around here, just getting things caught up on deliveries and stuff like that. So not the best of filming stuff, so haven't really been doing much of that. But today I've been wanting to do this for a while. If you guys remember, I've had this toolbox on this truck first. I think it's one of my early videos. I had this one on. It's just a Menards special. It's just I think it's a 17 by 26, and we're good starting off toolbox. And it's just got your regular pegs and stuff, and your screwdrivers and ratchets, holders, bigger wrenches on the back there, and got some cubby holes and stuff like that. This one worked good for me, but just wasn't the capacity of this one I got. This is a Montezuma. I think it's a 30, I think it's a 30-inch by 17, and you got more holders and more pegs for ratchet or wrenches and sockets, and then there's more storage underneath here than that one's got. Actually, this one's probably got the same amount of storage, like loose storage, but this one's got a lot more for your sockets and screwdrivers and wrenches and stuff like that. So that's why I got this one, and this one's actually a lot nicer. It's a lot heavier and stuff like that. But what I want to do is eventually make a bigger fuel tank to where I get rid of this and make the fuel tank kind of the skid and the holder for everything. So I want to gain some fuel capacity, and I want to make that to where you just go underneath it with the pallet forks to pick it up, kind of like what I got for the bottom here, and just fasten the toolboxes to the fuel tank, so it kind of make it a custom fuel tank, I guess. But for now, I don't have the material to build a fuel tank, so I'm gonna do, I guess, a little modification here. I'm gonna take this toolbox, bring it all the way to the edge here, And then we're gonna have to scoot this back some to clear this piece here, and then that way it quits hitting on the light there. It rubs a little bit every once in a while, but so I want to scoot that over, then scoot the fuel tank up against here just enough to where clear the back of this, and then put this one onto this side, put it right here, and then do away with these this ratchet strap to hold it on. I want to get some bolts to fasten it straight to the bed, be a little more secure. And then that way, that toolbox will be my metric wrenches and sockets and stuff like that. That way, this is solely for my metric, and this is solely for my standard, because I got more standard tools because the older equipment's got more standard. But now that our newer equipment's getting metric, I want to have a metric. That way I kind of got it set up here to where this is my standards and this is my metric, but I got some of the bigger metrics up here because it just wasn't fitting right. So I want to keep this solely for my standard and my metric. And this skid here is 84 inches, and if I did the math right, this plus that plus this with the about 2-inch for the lid when you open it will be 83 inches, so I'll have about an inch to play with. So that being said, I am going to have to cut, or I might be able to leave these and then weld a piece of angle iron on the front of this to fasten the tank itself to the skid, because I won't be able to use these because they'll be too close to it. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. That's today's project. Shouldn't take a whole lot of time, but I gotta empty the this toolbox to get it to move, get that unbolted, move everything around, and try fastening everything back to the skid, because these have well, you can't see them, but they have bolt holes in the bottom of these on each 4 corners to fasten them down. So that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I just got a lot of moving and stuff, so I gotta get that emptied, move that, mount that toolbox on the other side, and then put all the tools back in, because I got a bunch of tools in the back of this truck too, in the back seat. The whole back seat's full, so I want to get some of that stuff out of the bed or the back seat so I get my cab back. But yeah, it's just a lot of moving around and stuff, so I like to have enough tools with me. That way I'm not running back and forth from field to the farm to grab tools and stuff. So that's why I want to get this set up and have everything more organized and stuff like that. So I think that's it of me rambling on, so we'll get going here and see what we can get done. Well, I'm not quite done with this, but this is what it'll look like. Got the one toolbox there, fuel tank, another toolbox. There's just a little bit of clearance in between each lid and the fuel tank, so worked out perfect. I didn't get this all done today because I had some things pop up in the afternoon, so I didn't get to work on it all day long like I was hoping to, and I changed doing some things a little bit. So I made this skid, I think about 2 years ago now. Maybe it was, I don't think it was last year, I think it was 2 years ago. But anyways, this is just 2 pieces of grate. It's welded right here, so this is one piece, this is another piece. And when I welded it together, I don't know how well you can see that, but it warped it. So this isn't completely flat, and I didn't want to mount, well, this toolbox ain't too bad 'cause it's not on this piece too much, but that one being bigger, it sticks over farther. So I took pieces of angle iron we had and brought this back up, so this is somewhat level or flatter, but it's bending that, so hopefully over time this will settle in and get flat, but we'll see. But shouldn't hurt nothing. I got the toolboxes mounted. The fuel tank is not, it's just sitting there. I cut these tabs off. They were sitting on, you had two on each side, but can't really see in there. Let me see here. Got that piece of angle iron sitting in there, so I couldn't have the tabs there welded onto the fuel tank sitting there because it'll hit that. So what I'm gonna do is probably weld these there and then probably weld this to this. That way the fuel tank can't go nowhere because it's permanently staying on this skid unless we have a need to take it off. I just take the whole thing with, because I did have the problem with my truck breaking down. I don't know, my dad was ripping. He needed fuel and I blew the power steering line, so I had to take this off. So all I did is take the whole skid for the fuel, which ain't too big of a deal. But then what I'm gonna do is mount this skid to this is probably figure out something to get this side's not too bad because I got this opening, so I'll probably just take a bolt from here down. But then underneath these toolboxes, I'm not sure how I'm gonna mount it yet, but we'll figure that out hopefully tomorrow, because that side I can get one there, and then this side I can't get any, which is my issue I'm having because I got the toolbox in flat here. So not sure how I'm gonna do it, but we'll figure that out later. And then yeah, like I said, we'll just weld those tabs on the front, weld that fuel tank to the skid, that way it's secured. And these are both bolted down, so they're not going anywhere. And I just gotta make sure I don't have this too far forward and hit that, because they don't have that much of a gap now. But and then if anybody has some suggestions on what to organize, like these pliers and all my miscellaneous stuff that goes like in the bottom of here, I just don't like it just being thrown in there. I like it to be a little more organized. I looked at some things, but I don't really like too much that's online. So if anybody's got some suggestions on some tool organizers, just leave a comment. I like to find something a little bit better than what I got just being thrown in here. So, because this one's got more of the space in the back, and then you got two cubbies here, and then this one as well up here. So I'm hoping to get this more like my metric stuff, and then the pliers and stuff in this one, and then that one will be the standard and all my stuff that I use more so regularly versus the metric stuff that I don't use a whole lot. But yeah, so that's that. It's milking time now, so I'm gonna go do that, but I still gotta finish that up tomorrow and then put everything in here and get it back organized. So yeah, but and hopefully get this finished up tomorrow and get that done. So, and then also, I guess if anybody has a I guess idea on how to get a charger for these Milwaukee batteries, I like to put a charger either in the toolbox or in my toolbox on the bed. I'm not sure how to really do that. I'd like to put something like a solar panel on it and a charger of some sort in there to charge my batteries, so I don't have to keep taking them in and out of my truck. But if anybody's got some suggestions on that too, I'd like to know how everyone's doing those. But yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, I just got a lot of tools to put back in here and get back organized, but we'll hopefully get this finished up tomorrow. So it's milking time, so I'm gonna go do that, and I'll get you guys back out tomorrow. It's already 2 o'clock today, but finally back out to working on this thing. Gonna get it finished up hopefully here. Got the tabs that I cut off the fuel tank that were welded on the side of the tanks. There was 4, 2 on each side. I got 3 of them here. I'm gonna weld one in the corner here, one in the middle, and then one on the far side. That way this should stay stationary. It shouldn't go anywhere with just these. I've got another one here as well that I might weld on the back here. Weld it, it'll have to go flat, so like it originally was, weld it flat and then weld it to the bottom, but I don't think I'll need that. 3 of them should be fine, because when this thing's full of fuel, you got, I think it's about 100-gallon tank, so times that by the weight of fuel, it shouldn't go anywhere. The only issue would be is the sloshing of it, but this shouldn't break the tabs off with that much fuel in it. But I think I'll probably weld one in the front just to keep it, I guess, steady so it doesn't slosh back, and then all it'll do is break the welds from it rocking, but I don't think it would, because it's not gonna tip a whole lot. But that's what we're gonna do, get these welded in today, and then this will be done minus the bolting it down. But I gotta run to the I'll probably go to Tractor Supply and get some bolts to bolt this down. I think what I'm gonna do is get I think I need a 7 or 6.5 inch bolt, and then I'm gonna weld a nut in here. I got a nut, so I guess, oh, here it is. So I'm gonna weld it in like that, and then run a bolt with a washer and catch this rail here and bolt this whole thing down. So that's kind of what I think I'm gonna do here. So for right now though, I'm just gonna weld the fuel tank on and probably just throw a strap on it and strap it down so I can go to the store and grab my bolts. So I think that's what we're gonna do. But like I said, it's already 2 o'clock, so a little later than what I wanted to get going today, but had things pop up, so it is what it is. But I got these all cleaned up and this prep, so we'll get the welder going here and get these welded on here. So I was getting these welded up. I got them all tacked in place and got that far one, the bottom, all welded up, and then I started welding on this one, getting it welded in, and I ran out of wire, so I gotta go get more of that, which I gotta go to the store to grab the bolts anyways. So I guess we'll just grab them while we're there. I need some, I'm gonna get a couple different kinds so I can have on hand, that way don't have this issue again, hopefully. But I thought I had one, but I didn't, and when we moved everything from the old shop, I don't know if got lost in the mix of everything or what, but don't have it anymore, so that's that. But yeah, I liking how it's turning out so far. Got it welded in pretty good there. Got the bottom all welded to this piece, so that's not going anywhere. And then I'm going to weld across the top. It shouldn't be welding on a fuel tank, but it's diesel fuel, and I'm not getting it so hot to where it's going to make the fuel burn, but there's no fuel other than maybe half a gallon in there. It's empty, so whatever, the tube doesn't pick up, so it's not like it's full of fuel and I'm burning a hole in it, so I won't have any issues. Plus, when I start welding on the tank itself, I'm gonna weld a little bit on each one, so not one spot's getting hot, so shouldn't have an issue with it. But like I said, it's not full of fuel anyways, so shouldn't have an issue. But I'm gonna clean off the bed here. I'm gonna get all the tools in the boxes. That way that's done, because like I said, that's all mounted up anyways. So all I need to do is get the tank welded up and the skid secured to the truck. So don't have much left to do anyway, so I'll just throw the tools in there real quick, get everything organized for the most part. I'm not gonna clean out the bed or the back seat of the truck where all the rest of the tools are. I'm just gonna put this stuff away for now, because I forgot I gotta work on the gooseneck trailer, that new trailer we got. We're having a the left to right turn signal, I can't remember, or the whole left side of the rear's not working, so I'm thinking with that dovetail, how it works, I think it pinched a wire, so I gotta look at that. But I gotta get this out of here and the semi, so I'm going to get this stuff moved out of here, but I still need my truck in here because I got the tools I need in it. So I should be able to fit it all in here. But yeah, like I said, though, it's already, I think it's 2-3 o'clock now, so I gotta get going on this, run to town, grab that stuff. So we'll start putting this stuff away, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. As you can see, still working on this. Got the wire yesterday for the welders, and I'll be able to finish this all up. I had to pull this out, and as you can see, got the semi out of here. Got the truck and trailer in here this morning, and figured out that the so it's got 2 lights in the back, well, 4 lights total, 2 on each side for the turn signals and brake lights and all that. Well, they just happened to come unplugged, so easy fix there. Just had to pop them back in, but then we didn't have running lights on the truck or the trailer, and looked in the fuse panel on the truck and it blew the fuse. We had that issue with the old trailer, so I'm assuming it blew the fuse, and we just didn't get around to fixing it. So my dad's picking up a fuse, so we'll get that fixed. That'll be done later on today when he gets back. It's already, I think, 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that. So later on in the day, just been awfully busy doing other stuff, but finally going to finish this up, I hope today. Got the wire in the welder yesterday, so we'll finish welding that up. I just got, well, I guess I got the 2 to do and across the top, so be a little bit of time doing that, but I'll get that done. Yeah, I got some of the tools in here. I think what I'm gonna do is take all my impact sockets out of here and just put my chrome ones in here, because I got a couple sets in the truck with the impact sockets in them, so I think what I'm gonna do is leave them in this toolbox. I already put some of my wrenches in here that I'm not gonna use. These are my metrics. They're the flip ratchets, so got them in there. I'm gonna get some more regular, the non-ratcheting wrenches. I'll put them in here as well, and then I just threw these in here for now. But if anybody's got some, I guess, organizers for wrenches and pliers and stuff like that, I like to organize this a little better when I get everything in it. But if you guys could give me some tips or whatever you guys using, I'd greatly appreciate it, because I like to keep this stuff organized. That way I know if I'm missing one or whatnot. So if anybody's got some suggestions on organizers, I'd appreciate it, and that way I get that stuff all organized and not just thrown in there, because it will get a mess after a couple times of using it. So I like to keep it organized. And then I got this one. I got my wrenches in the back. This is the metrics. I got the bigger wrenches here, and then I got these I don't use a whole lot, but then once I get into the regular sizes like your 18s and 16s, stuff like that, I got a regular closed end and then a ratcheting one. That way got 2 wrenches of those, and then I'm gonna put chrome sockets in here as well. I started putting some of my impacts, but they don't quite fit in here like I like them to, so I'm gonna get my chrome plated ones, put them in here, and then I'm putting just odds and ends stuff in here. So I think I'm getting to the point to where I'm figuring out where I want what at, so that way this will be done. And then found some, I went to the store yesterday, well, Tractor Supply, to get some bolts, and I think I was getting 5/8 by, I think I needed 6 or 7 inch bolts. Well, the 6-inch bolts were like $6.50 a bolt, so wasn't gonna do that. And we had these bolts. My dad said these are from a the electric poles to put the insulators on. We got these from a guy years ago, and we don't ever use them, but they're square heads, which is not a big deal because I'm not going to be taking this on and off, but I do have to re-thread them because they're too long, and I got to cut them and tap them a little bit to put some new threads in. But this is basically what I got. So I'm going to put it up in here, and then it'll go, kind of hard to do this, there it went. So I'm gonna weld the nut in there, and then this will catch on the bed rail, and then we'll secure it like that. So it ain't gonna go anywhere because this doesn't do a whole lot of sliding because it's pretty heavy, especially when you get fuel and the 2 toolboxes. So these bolts will be more than enough to hold it on. So that's what I'm doing, but I'll quit rambling on here and get back to work. But I'll show you guys how I'm making these, and I got one more to do, so I'll show you guys doing that. Well, got all 4 of these welded in. Definitely not the best welding, but it'll hold. All it is keep them washers on there really. But got them welded in. I got this thing set how I want it, because over there, if you guys remember, that toolbox sits up farther and it'll catch on this piece of brace for this. So I got it back a little bit farther than what I had before. That's why I got a gap in here, but not really a big deal, because this is just kind of storage for miscellaneous stuff and rocks and whatnot. So not really too big of an issue, but we're gonna, I got this in how I want it, so now I'm gonna weld them nuts in here to fasten the bolts onto the bed to this. So we'll get welding in some nuts here and get this thing fastened on. Got these all welded in here. Got them, I spot welded, or whatever you want to call these. I welded about 4 or 5 times on each. That way it didn't get the tank too terribly hot. And got the bottoms all welded up, and then I plug welded the holes that were in there. Like this here, I plug welded each one of them. That way get the maximum holding that I can on them, and it seems pretty solid, so that's good. And then got these welded in, got the nuts in there. I welded both I guess sides and then the bottoms underneath there. Now it's pretty good. And then this one, got it top and bottom, and got it welded in. And then this, if you guys remember, had that bow in it. I pulled it down, so now it's sitting pretty flat. It's still got that little bow right there, but that's in almost flat, so it's pretty good, I'd say. Got the other side here still to do. Got these 2 to do yet, but I got them made up here, and so we'll get these in here, and then this will be done. So we'll get the welder back going and get these 2 welded in here, and we'll be done. Well, got this all done. Got both sides all mounted down and everything secured. Still got to fill the toolboxes up, but getting all my stuff opened up here. If you guys remember, I bought, this is a Husky set I bought quite a while ago now, and left everything in the boxes for the most part, but I did open up quite a bit of the stuff and put it in the toolbox earlier. That's what all my wrenches and stuff are. But this is basically, I guess, both the standard and metric set. I was putting it in here, and I'm going to take the metric out and put in the other one, but I was opening up everything, making sure I want everything to be, I guess, more or less the same. So make sure everything's the 6 points and the 3/8 drive and stuff like that, because I got both 12 point and 6 point, and got 3/8, half-inch, and the 1/4-inch drive stuff. So just kind of putting everything in and getting the, I guess, the standard impact drive out, and then I replace it with the chrome set. So that's why everything's just kind of thrown in here in this toolbox, but I'll switch everything over that's metric and put that on the other side. But everything's fastened down, all nice and secure now, so this ain't going anywhere. So I got it set up like I wanted to now, so it definitely lot better in my opinion. So that's done, and it's after milking now. It's about 8 o'clock, I guess, but this is in here because it's dropping. It's getting awfully cold, and we got it full of manure, as you can see, but we've been getting a lot of rain here, so we haven't hauled any manure in about a week now, I guess. So it's in here because it's full of manure, and it froze on us. The door here in the back froze, so we're letting it unthaw in here. That way we can haul manure. Tomorrow morning it's supposed to be froze up solid, so we got it in here. We couldn't haul any out today because it just been dropping all day, and with that being full of water in the back there, that's what's froze. Manure won't freeze unless it gets at 26, 27 degrees, so we wouldn't have had a problem if it was full of manure, but since it's got the water in it, it froze because it's right around 28, 29 degrees, so it is what it is. It's in here, it'll unthaw, and we'll haul it out tomorrow, but that's that. And then this, getting some of my, would be the next one here, got, guess got the, there we go. Got all this stuff, got the chrome set, or the impact sockets in here, and some of my chrome. This was a different set I had for a long time, but all my impact ones are gonna stay in here because we'll use impact more in here. Plus I got a couple sets in my truck that are they're a full set of impact that I just have in the truck, so that's why I put in the impact ones to stay in the shop. So they're in here. And then this is the organizers that I got from Husky that came in the set, and they're nice for these, but they won't work for my deep well because the door's not tall enough. But I need to find a different set for these, but we'll get that later. But yeah, so it's getting late now, so just figure I'd get you guys all caught back up. But so I think we're gonna be hauling manure tomorrow, so I'll get you guys back out then. But I'm gonna head on in and call her a night.